Hello and welcome to Shooting the Breeze. On today's episode, I will be talking about time travel. And I've watched so many movies of, people traveling back in time, or they ended up in some kind of temporal distortion or rift or something like that, and ended up being in a different time period, and then somehow they find a way to get back to their own timeline and everything is good. And usually they throw in the fact that they had to be there because that was part of how history really happened. So it's kind of like, what do you call it? I forget the name for it, but whatever. It doesn't matter. The fact is, it's not possible. You can't have something because there had to be a first time, so then the second time would change it, so it wouldn't be possible. I think it's called a paradox. So I don't believe in it. I love science fiction TV shows, but when it comes to time travel, I don't believe it. At least not for time travel back in time. But for time travel forward in time, into the future, now that is possible. And according to Einstein, as you travel closer to the speed of light, you can't go to the speed of light, you're going to disintegrate. But as you get closer to the speed of light, you will slow down in time, or the people behind you will be speeding up in time. So it's all relative, right? But the idea is, as you're traveling faster, everything around you will age faster, but you don't. So you will always feel the same way, but everybody else seems to be like on fast forward. So that theory was tested out with an atomic clock on one of the rockets that was sent up at one point, and they checked the clock when they came back, and the time was slightly less than the time on Earth. So that to them was proof enough that that theory is real. Now, of course, rockets don't travel anywhere near the speed of light. But it was enough to show there's a time difference. I kind of agree with that idea. But going back in time, it just really doesn't make any sense. There was a movie at one point, I think it was called The Butterfly Effect, and shows how everything would be different. Yeah, it doesn't take much, really. The slightest change, the fact that you even say hello to somebody in the past, could have a lot of other changes, like it'd be like a domino effect, right? So everything, or chain reaction, everything changes, even though it's very slight little changes, but in the end it could have an impact on who's sleeping with who and when. And of course that creates different kind of babies. Instead of having a boy, you'd end up having a girl. So if you were to go back in time and you said hello to somebody, you might come back to the future, and all of a sudden you realize you never had a brother. You only had a sister or two sisters. It's just that's the kind of changes that you would not be able to avoid if you affected something because you simply said hello or walked in front of somebody at one point, and that could have changed a lot of different outcomes. Even though you feel they're not connected, it would cause a very, very huge chain reaction and be non-stop, right? Because it keeps on happening. So each effect would, again, have another effect on someone else. And it just keeps on going forever and ever. So the outcome, after years and years, could be very different. In fact, it could change somebody's opinion about, let's say, going to school and becoming an engineer or a doctor, and instead they become a mechanic, So that's the kind of stuff, and changes everything. Imagine Einstein wouldn't be him, it would be somebody else who invented all kinds of stuff or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I could be rich like Elon Musk. Well, anyway, I don't believe in time travel. Okay? So that's my say. So that's all I got to say for today, and I hope you enjoy these little videos that I'm going to be making on different topics, and basically I'm going to give you my opinion, and that's it. Bye bye.